Hey guys, John V here from PhoneArena. You're watching our video review of the T-Mobile version of the Samsung Galaxy S2. It's going to be available soon for $230 with a 2-year contract. It's pretty much the same thing as the Epic Touch 4G with Sprint, but it does support a new processor. Visually, this handset looks exactly like the Samsung Epic 4G Touch with Sprint. Shares the same size, dimensions, and even the rounded corners. It feels solid for a plastic device. We definitely like the textured pattern design. It does a good job of keeping it look clean. And on top of that, adequate grip. Very streamlined, and overall, it's pretty much a conventional looking handset. Always something that we're delighted to see. The handset features a 4.52-inch Super AMOLED Plus display, WVGA resolution, same thing as the Epic Touch 4G. Of course, the resolution might not impress just because for web browsing it can be a little bit difficult to make out, but for most things it's more than adequate enough. We definitely like the color production, the brightness, it's just tantalizing, and has some great viewing angles so it retains its visibility in all angles. Just like the AT&T and Sprint versions, it features capacitive touch buttons below the display. We didn't have any issues as far as accidentally pressing them. Meanwhile, on the opposite side, you have the front-facing 2-megapixel camera, front-facing camera, so you can do video chat and even take self-portraits. And on the sides, we find the dedicated power button. You have 3.5mm headset jack, the noise cancellation microphone, the volume rocker, and the bottom edge you have the micro USB port for data and charging purposes. It also acts the video out as long as you use an MHL adapter. Lastly, in the rear, you have the 8-megapixel autofocus camera, single LED flash. You can tell it juts out just a little bit, removing the back cover. You gain access to its battery, the SIM card slot, micro SD card slot, and it's worth noting it comes with 16 gigabytes of internal storage. So what's new with the T-Mobile version? Well, for starters, it doesn't use the same Exynos processor as its siblings, but rather it utilizes a 1.5 GHz dual-core Qualcomm Snapdragon S3 processor with 1 GB RAM. Honestly, it is still smooth with its operation and very fast, but after checking out the other variants of the Galaxy S2, we just noticed a little bit more choppiness, especially when live wallpapers are used. It's not as buttery smooth as the other variants. Still respectable at speeds, but we kind of appreciate, the experience what we found with the other handsets. Just like the other handsets, it features the latest version of TouchWiz running on top of Android 2.3 Gingerbread, so we like the fact that there's a lot of personalization with its various widgets, and versus previous versions of TouchWiz, it has a cleaner look. And the other thing that we like about it is that it employs a bunch of different gesture movements with the handset. For example, in web browsing, you could just hold the device with 2 fingers like so, and you could zoom in, zoom out very, very quickly like that. It might not be practical for all things, but hey, at least you have that functionality, which we like. So one of the most satisfying things about the handset is the web browsing experience, not only because it offers HSPA Plus connectivity, which gets you theoretical speeds of up to 42 megabits per second, but its operation is very tight and responsive. It handles flash very well, and overall, a fantastic experience. So if you happen to love taking photos and videos, you'll be astounded by the handset's quality with its 8-megapixel autofocus camera. For still shots, there's a lot of detail, natural-looking colors, and honestly, you could probably replace your point-and-shoot camera. Equally as good as the 1080p high-definition video capture, a lot of detail, good frame rate too, very smooth, and it's very convincing. For the most part, we're pretty happy with the handset's calling quality. With the earpiece itself, it's kind of low in volume output, so it kind of makes it very difficult to make out callers, especially in noisy environments. But luckily, again, voices are clear and distinctive on both ends of the line. When switched to using the speakerphone, though, it tends to make voices sound squeaky. Additionally, the signal strength of the handset is pretty good. It's able to retain a good amount of bars in high coverage areas, and during our time testing it, it didn't drop any phone calls. Compared to the AT&T version, we're able to get a little bit more battery life out of T-Mobile's one just because it offers a slightly higher capacity battery. Using it extensively, we're able to get 11 hours of continuous usage out of single charge. So for light users, you could get at least a solid day's usage out of it. But if you're a power user or just a normal user, you might want to charge this nightly. So if you're a T-Mobile customer looking for the best Samsung Android-powered smartphone, it's a no-brainer decision that the Galaxy S2 is the best choice by far. But if it doesn't matter, if you're just looking for the best Galaxy S2 models out there, then we'd probably say the T-Mobile version is the last one there. Just because, for starters, it's sporting a $230 price point, $30 more than its competition. And on top of that, the performance with its new processor, not quite as buttery smooth compared to the other versions. But still, nevertheless, it's a decent handset, definitely a high-end device. So if you'd like to learn more about the T-Mobile Samsung Galaxy S2, you can check out our website, PhoneArena.com. This is John V. Thanks for watching, guys.